Hello survivors, welcome back. It is day 2 of 10 days before Christmas. So I'm going to read chapter 2 today. I am doing the audio reading of my book, Cancer Won't Stop Me. I'm so very excited that you're here to share my journey and to hear my story. So this is my gift to you, my survivors, because we're all surviving something. So let's do life together. Comment below what you think about chapter 2. Share this video with others. Like the video, comment below. And I hope you guys are having a Merry Christmas and looking forward to Christmas Day and spending time with your family.
Nothing's ever gonna move it when the bones are good. The rest don't matter. Yeah, the pain could peel. The glass.
So, chapter 2 from my book, Cancer Won't Stop Me, by Marshall Harris. And I am going to be reading chapter 2. Chapter 2 is called When Everything Changes. Life is something no one should take for granted. Time with family and loved ones should be cherished. Life happens. We get busy, work can be stressful, and our children and their sports teams can keep us super busy. Take time to enjoy each moment. It is a gift. I get my annual mammograms in my birth month each year. In 2019, it was no different. My appointment was scheduled for early in the month due to my vacation trip for the week of my birthday. This year, I was going to Orlando, Florida. My birthday gift to myself is to travel somewhere I have never been as a treat. Yes, I have never been to Orlando, Florida. There are not too many people I meet that have not visited the beautiful city of Orlando or Disney World's theme parks. Getting a mammogram is not a pleasant experience. Each year for the last 5 years, I had to repeat the mammogram and do an ultrasound to rule out areas of concern. And before this year, 2019, I was repeating every 6 months. I had areas of concern, but it was ruled to be cysts and non-cancerous. After 2 years of no changes, I could return to being tested annually. June is my annual exam month. Mammography uses low energy x-rays to examine the breast tissue for diagnosis on screenings. The goal is to detect breast cancer early. Oftentimes, it can detect a breast lump before it can be felt. However, it is not always the case. Monthly self-breast exams are encouraged by every OBGYN. Some discomfort is felt during the exam, which is normal, and can vary each visit from person to person. Who knew this would be my story? While I was on vacation, I got a call from my radiologist to come in and repeat the mammogram and to follow up with an ultrasound. She asked me to walk in once I got back, and I did not need an appointment. Once I got off the phone, I did not panic or worry. This happens after every mammogram that I can remember. Normally, it is reviewed before I even leave the exam. But that particular day I had my exam, the radiologist was not in the office to review my results. So a repeat is normal for me. I scheduled my appointment on a day the following week when I would have returned from my trip. As I walked in to repeat the exam, I was informed there had been changes from the exam last year and I would need a biopsy to make sure it was benign. I also had one suspicious lymph node that would need a biopsy. I asked, how could things change so much from year to year? I have fibrocystic breast, so I asked if she was sure and did she not think it was another cyst. She assured me that I needed a biopsy to be sure. The biopsy was scheduled the following day. I was so afraid and asked 2 of my friends, Rhonda and Tiffany, to come along with me to the exam. I am normally such a baby when it comes to pain. Rhonda was able to come back with me for the procedure. It was very comforting having her there in the room as the biopsy is done by ultrasound. Breast ultrasound uses sound waves to make images, and those images are known as sonograms. It is non-invasive and often used as a follow-up with a mammogram, breast MRI, or clinical breast exam. When it's used for a biopsy, They also use a vacuum system to capture the sample of the area to be sent to a lab for evaluation. The procedure was not as bad as I thought it would be. You are given meds to numb the area, so it was not too painful, just a little uncomfortable. My underarm from the lymph node was the most uncomfortable part. The vacuum technique was a loud and unpleasant sound. It felt like it took weeks to get my results back. On July 1st, 2019, while I was at work, my doctor called. She immediately said the test was positive for cancer cells. She said she was sorry to have to tell me this. I was in shock and felt like everything in my world just stopped. I felt numb. This could not possibly be real. I asked if she was sure. She said yes. It was sent to 3 different labs. She wanted me to come into the office right away that day if I could, so she could talk to me about my next steps. I did go in to see her and brought my coworker, Tamara, along with me. She took notes and was very helpful and asked some of the questions I had forgotten to ask. I was given pamphlets with lots of information about breast cancer, types of cancers, and frequently asked questions. I did not know there were so many types and receptors. I was referred to the UAB Medical Center for care. I also would need to do a breast MRI to ensure they're getting a clear understanding of everything that we are dealing with to treat me. My doctor had already scheduled the appointment, so I went in a couple days later. The breast MRI is similar to a normal MRI, but instead of being inside a tube, you're sitting on your knees with your breast fitting inside an area to be examined. The worst part is the loud metal noises, however. You do get to listen to your favorite music genre. It takes about 30 minutes, but I waited 3 hours to get this test done. The VA does not have a good system of scheduling appointments. It was not a good experience to have 8 people sitting there to be tested at the same time. I wanted to pull my hair out. My daughter came with me and she was so bored. She did not want to go to any more of my appointments after that long wait. And I didn't blame her. It was not a pleasant experience. I decided to share the news with my family and a few friends. I did not want anyone else to know. I still did not know what I was dealing with and did not need any extra stress from the advice of others at this moment. I knew from my own research that I needed to get a second opinion. And that was the end of chapter 2. What did you guys think? So tell me what you think is going to happen next. Tell me what you thought about chapter 2. Tell me, did you get your mammogram this year? How often do you normally get your mammogram? And do you have to do a repeat? Are you having any issues or any areas of concern? It's very, very important that you guys stay up to date on your exams. Do your self-evaluations as well. Because most times you're the one who's going to feel the lump first or tell if anything's different with your breast. Okay, thank you.
Nothing's ever gonna move it when the bones are good. The rest don't matter, yeah, the pain could peel.